G'day viewers, Retro Man here and welcome to the 80s Show. Now I'm sure some of you out there have some DVDs or Blu-rays in your collection that have the same film title. Yes, some filmmakers kind of don't reflect on the past and they just call their movies one thing, and there's an earlier film with the same name. And the other day I did an episode on this movie here, Double Trouble, starring the Barbarian Brothers. This has just come out on Blu-ray from Kino Lorber, and I was thinking to myself, where have I heard this title before? I'm sure it's been used, as a title for other movies. And actually, guys, I have a few movies in my collection called Double Trouble. This isn't just the only one. So guys, I had a look through my collection and of course I was correct. I do have two other movies titled Double Trouble, which makes really a neat trilogy. I mean, imagine watching these back to back. So let's start with this one here. Elvis Presley's Double Trouble. I mean, this is not Elvis's best film, of course, but it's called Double Trouble. I mean, wouldn't this be a great double feature? And this film is kind of set in England, and this is one of his 60s outings, and Elvis did not travel to England to make this film, and there actually really isn't two Elvises in this one. I think some people kind of get this film, Double Trouble, a little bit mixed up with Elvis's other film, Kissin' Cousins, where there's two of him. And this is not a great film, but it's an Elvis film. It has some songs in there, and I'm so glad that I have it. But guys, there is another film called Double Trouble that I have in my collection, and it stars two very funny actors from Italy. In fact, it is Double Trouble with Terence Hill and Bud Spencer, and this is a fun film set in Brazil. It has a great catchy theme song at the start, and this film actually has two lots of twin brothers in it. So that's the significance of the title this time around. This came out in the early 80s. I mean, Terence Hill and Bud Spencer are renowned for those classic Trinity films, those westerns that they did in the 70s. But as time moved on, they got involved in these modern day punch 'em up action pictures. And Double Trouble is one of their early 80s outings. In fact, this was kind of one of their last, before they did solo films for a while and then they got back together to do another western in the 90s. So this film is very funny. I mean, you have to like slapstick humour to appreciate it, but that's another film with the title Double Trouble. So guys, we also have Elvis, and of course we have the Barbarian Brothers. So really guys, this is a neat trilogy of sorts. They all have that title, and I find that rather funny. So guys, I have Double Trouble 3 times in my collection, and in some ways, guys, I actually have it 4 times in my collection, because if you've been watching the channel, you may have noticed that I did an episode on Barbarian Brothers bootlegs, and I also have Double Trouble on a bootleg edition from many years ago when you couldn't get the film. So, guys, that makes 4 movies with the title Double Trouble. Not really 3 movies, but guys, I have 4 in my collection with that title. So there's plenty of movies out there that have the same title. I mean, you may remember that Sean Penn did a film in the early 80s called Bad Boys. It was a hard-hitting prison film, and later on Will Smith did Bad Boys for a different generation. That was a cop buddy film. So guys, it does get confusing for some people, but that's what happens sometimes. They kind of don't look back in time and think that title was used, and they just happen to use it again. So that's what's happened here with these 3 films. And guys, I wouldn't have it any other way. I like having these 3 films in my collection, whatever the titles are. So there we have it, guys. Tell me if you've seen any of these Double Trouble titles in the comments below. Please share your memories of these films, and you will see Retro Man again very soon. But until then, guys, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and keep watching the channel because you will never know what is going to pop up next. It's been an absolute pleasure reflecting on the Double Trouble collection. So guys, until next time, this is Retro Man, living the dream, 80s style. Stay gold.
Thanks for watching. Retro Man will return faster than a boomerang and just as tough as the Barbarian Brothers. And when I say tough, I mean real tough. Please subscribe and good night, viewers.